Okay. Okay, for English literature, we have The Little Prince. Okay, narrate what you remember about the story of The Little Prince.
I remember that the little prince lived in a planet or a meteorite that's called planet B-12. He thought that planets were supposed to be small and went to travel. But first, he had 3 volcanoes. 1 volcano, 2 volcano, 1 extinct volcano. That's 3. And the little prince also had a rose. He had baobabs, which he cleans every day, because once you don't remove the baobabs, they will grow and grow and grow and spread and spread and spread and then explode your whole planet. So then he found a rose which stopped growing, and he took care of it, and then he left and then found a king. The king was like, I rule every single thing. Huh? Oh, you really? Well, can you command the sun to set? Because I've seen the sun set 44 times by moving my chair just a few steps. Of course, you may see the sunset. At late afternoon, 5 o'clock. I will command it to set. It's very funny because the king doesn't know that the sun always sets at 5 o'clock in the late afternoon. So the king thinks he's ruling the sun and moon. Yeah? I own all the stars! And then the prince went to a conceited man. He was like, hi. And then the conceited man would be like, the little prince said, hi, who are you? The conceited man said, I am an admired man. Everyone loves me. Everyone. Everyone that is in the planet, and there's nobody else except himself. There's nobody else except himself, so everybody loves him. And that's only him. So nobody loves him. And then the little prince went to the next planet. This time he met a drunkard. A drunkard was like, the little prince said, hello, why are you drinking? I'm drinking to forget. Forget about what? Forget about being nervous. Nervous about what? Nervous of drinking. He's drinking because he's trying to forget about being nervous of drinking. And then after that, he met a businessman. The businessman said, I own all the stars. What happened to King? Oh, not the guy. No. I own all the stars. Why? Because I thought of it first. But first, he was counting all the stars that he owned. Counting and math and more math and math. But anyway, stop talking about math because we're in English literature. And then, the little prince was like, "What are you doing?" "I'm counting all the stars that I own." And then, there was 3 people who already interrupted him. And then, the third one was, of course, the little prince. So, he owned all the stars. For instance, if you find a diamond that nobody owns, it is yours. Like that. And then, the little prince went to the next planet and saw a geographer. The little prince said, the geographer said, "I have explored the whole entire planet, except that the planet was super small." But the little prince said, "What is in your planet?" But the geographer said, "What is in your planet? I have 1 rose, 2 volcanoes, and 1 extinct one." And then he went to a lamplighter. Lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. Every single 1 minute. Before, my planet didn't spin this fast. So I get to turn on the lights in the evening and sleep. And in the morning, I get to turn off the lights and relax. But now it gets faster and faster, and now I have to do it for each single 1 minute. And I can't rest or sleep. Since it wasn't modern that time, I think, the lamplighter didn't use, moonlight sensors, like the sensors that sense the moon. And then it, ons it automatically, like those automatic lamps. So, the little prince went in Earth, and then he landed in the Sahara Desert. He found a man and he said, "Draw me a sheep." But anyway, this isn't art appreciation, so let's continue. The man drew a sheep, but he said, "This one is too old. This one is too sickly. This one isn't a sheep. This is a ram." And then the man drew a sheep in a box. The little prince said, "Exactly what I wanted." And then he sat on the ruins of a wall. But first he met a friendly fox. And then after that he tamed it. He found 500 roses in a garden, 5,000 roses in a garden. And then he cried because the rose was just 1 common rose. But then he embarrassed all of the other roses because he said that he tamed it and it's special, and also the fox. But he said farewell to the fox. And then he sat on a wall of ruins, and then he found a yellow snake which can kill you in 1 bite. And then he talked with the man and said, "I'm going back to my planet, bye-bye." And then, do you know why? Because the snake bit him and his spirit went back into the planet, but his body stayed there. And the little prince, of course, died. The end. The little prince died.
Okay, second question for English Lit is, please tell me, what do you understand by this quote? "It is only through the heart that one sees rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." Can you tell me?
I
do
don't
you
know what essential means after.
Essential is important, anak.
Okay. Like, give you an example. What's
Yeah, you could. What do you understand with that saying?
I understand that some people have a lot of things to do, but what is important to them is actually invisible to the eye. But, you know, they just don't see it, so they don't mind anything. And that's really cool.
Can you give me an example of what is essential to you that is invisible?
School!
Oh, okay.
School.
Why?
Because it's important, but it's invisible to my eye. Because it's important, but it's invisible to my eye. Which means I don't really know what's important about it.